All right. It is time for game 2 of iCast, your freaking awesome replays. It is the social distancing challenge where, oh shit, the players have already all broken it because they've spawned together, but it's okay because they're lovers. You know, you can't be like, oh, husband and wife, you need to distance. That's fine. Down here in the bottom left, the red marriage of Terran and Zerg. It's Mr. Core and Crazy Max. Up here in the top right-hand side, the blue couple. Currently quarantined in the top right-hand side of the map. It is Alaz and Adrianx. Not Adrian, it's Adrianx. 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 Sorry. I feel like Sylvester could scream that name for hours and it would make me very happy. So it looks like we got a few SCVs going across, some sort of proxy build going in. Remember, of course, the players with this challenge weren't allowed to expand next to their own bases. So these players down here are not going to be able to expand. Now, I imagine it's them playing the challenge because already Blue has gone and just walked to the dog, gone into the friggin' corner shop, bought a packet of cigs and a fucking beer, and is just sitting on a park bench, breathing to the world, no mask, no F's given. So I think it's time for the police to come in. Mr. Core is going to build 2 barracks over there and say, naughty, naughty. We're going to come in and punish you for that one, mate. You can't just be expanding willy-nilly anywhere. Now, Alaz is going for a quick second barracks, so it might be like a 3-Rax Reaper or something here for Alaz, we'll see. And Crazy Max going to expand all the way off to the left-hand side of the map. Not a bad way of doing it. For those who want to get your replays in for next week, guys, the challenge is Showoff. Get as many upgrades as possible. Bonus points for actually using them. So try to build a strategy around as many upgrades as you can possibly get. And, I mean, that could start off with things like a burrowed roach harassment, but you could go into all sorts of upgrades and, you know, you can get your infestors, you can get your storm real early and your warp prism speed, you can get your colossus range, you can get all sorts of things, get your building armor. There are so many upgrades in the game, and it's just, you know, basically we're trying to give you guys extra impetus to use them as much as possible. As much as you possibly can, and show us what you can do with that now. We've got Marines building down here, a bunker building on the edge of creep. Adrianx is like, oi, what the fudge, dude? Roach Horn's almost ready. Add-on canceling here. Alaz has got 2 Marines. Oh, Alaz, typical Terran player, builds 2 Marines to defend the main base. Is threatened. Doesn't send anything down here. Adrianx is like, oh no, one of the drones gets shot down. An Overlord. Oh, oh no, Adrianx floats an Overlord into the enemy main and just loses it right at the start just from misclicking it. Oh no. Zergling's coming across, and that Ling speed is almost done. So Crazy Max is going to rally Speedlings to join up with this Marine rush. They are saying naughty, naughty. Now, there's a command center building it. I think Mr. Core's going to float that down to the gold. And since there is a high ground 6-foot-tall fence, I think that's definitely disease-proof. I think it's okay to take that base. Even though it's next to the base, I think that's totally fine. Now, Ling's Marines coming in. These Lings are going to run in, and they're going to find awesome defensive power here. 2 Marines and a Hellion and no wall off. Holy shit. The Zerg also spread creep, blocking the ability to wall off and use the add-ons. Adrianx is literally every fucking team game player's worst nightmare. A Zerg player who is too stupid to realize that spreading creep through your opponent's base literally ruins their ability to place structures. Adrianx is the reason why I don't play random team games. It's because, like, I can handle a stupid player who just does bad things themselves, but when they actively handicap you the way this Zerg does, oh, sorry guys, getting diseases. I think I got a bit too close to that hatchery. Haven't been distanced enough from this game. I do like, by the way, that Mr. Core and Crazy Max are like, yes, we're going to be very safe. We're going to follow our distancing conditions. By the way, frat party of Zerglings and Marines. These guys are fucking slapping each other's asses in the group shower. They are, yeah, they're all running around playing football. They're tackling each other. You know, you often or not, you wake up in the Zergling barracks, there's another Zergling farting on your face. He goes, oh, I fucking got you, Kyle. I fucking farted on your face, man. You're You're like, oh, Kyle, it stinks, man. Dude, you seriously gotta eat some vegetables or something. How does that smell so bad? What the hell, man? He's like, oh, you got wrecked, Kyle. Just accept it. Haha. So Adrianx is gonna come down now. A player who literally blocked their opponent's reactor. He's got some roaches. Fighting into 3 bunkers not gonna work out too well, though. Behind this, a Hellion Marine drop came in. They actually just killed a whole bunch of workers. Well done, well done. And you know what? That does put crazy mechs back down to 21 workers. But this does get cleaned up. Ooh, ooh. Oh, you absolute shithead of a medevac pilot. She just flies off, no fucks given. Oh, these Ravagers. One Ravager falls to the bunkers. Okay, nice piles are going to start to take this down, but we don't want to be losing any more. Already being contained here. Adriank says, oi, this is a tyrannical quarantine, mates. You're hurting our freedoms. You're hurting our freedoms. So Adriank is a bit upset about the tyranny. To be fair, I'd be more worried just about getting your pillow farted on by these fuckers. I wouldn't be worried about them being tyrannical. I'd be much more worried about them giving you pink eye, to be honest. So, I mean, either way, you've got reason to be angry as our top right blue team, Alaz and Adrianx. Now, another Marine drop's going to go across, and if you keep doing little things to damage your opponent's economy, you could keep them down. So, nice moves. A Liberator comes in. Queens are very quickly moved to respond, though. Crazy mechs there. Nice job dealing with that. Liberator pilot's going to fly on out of there for now. Down here, the command center of Mr. Quora is finally going to float down to that gold. I'm going to drop some mules there. That's a lot of Zerglings. Good little Ravager count, though. These barracks are still here, funnily enough. Oh, Liberator finds an SCV trying to hide in the corner. Alaz is like, no, you fucking don't, mate. No corner base for you. Does take that one down. Meanwhile, ooh, mass mule on the gold. Of course, mules don't actually mine faster on the gold, but since you got no SCVs over here, hey, you might as well. They mine the same there as they do on the other minerals. Flying over that's got to freak you out a little bit, right? You're like, since when did I enter the Tron Matrix universe of fucking weirdness? What even is this? Ooh, Lings come in, get it cancelled. They say, dude, we've told you about maintaining a safe distance. What is wrong with you? They come in, snap that third, unable to take out the other one. They say, okay, we don't really want to tackle these protesters. They are well armed. They've set up a bit of a defensive position here. Oh my god, these guys signal so much on the minimap. It's crazy. Oh, Widow Mines are not really defending the mineral line. These Marines are doing it pretty good. No, you dummy, don't walk into the mines. They burrowed in front of you, dude. Oh no. Oh god damn. That was like them. I don't know. I think they thought that was their Tiananmen Square. You know, there was like a bulldozer coming through, and they're like, clear the area, get back to your homes. There's a curfew. You're out after dark, and they're like, nah, man, I'll fucking fight for freedom. And they stand in front of it, and it's basically the Austin Powers scene where the guy is in the roller, and he's like, no, and they're like, move, get out of the fucking, what are you doing? Get out of the, and he's like, no, and it goes for like 5 minutes. But in this case, they literally didn't just do that. They willingly walked into the Widow Mines and got themselves blown up. So I'm not sure if inspirational or fucking brain damaged, but it's definitely one of the two for Alaz. We'll see as the game goes on. We'll continue with that diagnoses. He is, of course, going the 2 barracks, 2 factory. Am I going bio? Am I going mech? Guess what? I'm building Cyclone bio strategy. For those who don't know, it's a really good way to make sure none of your upgrades actually benefit your units. So, 2 starports as well. 2 barracks, 2 factories, and 2 starports. It's the 222. Now, people have heard about the 111. They've heard about the 211. The 222 is a build that actually, I believe, it got triumphed and made popular by fucking nobody above Gold League. But somehow, in the Gold League, it is the most popular thing in the entire world. I'm wondering where they got this idea that just having 2 of every production facility is a good idea. Biles land mostly in an FD mineral line. That spine does take out 1 Ravager before it does get tentacled to its doom. Roach is running in here. shit's hitting the fan, dude. Banshees run in and take out that mineral line. Roaches take out that base, knock their opponents back to one base, but at the same time, look at these. Freedom fighting roaches are like, you can't keep us contained. Look, we'll clump up and we will literally vomit on you. There's a reason we went Roach Ravager. It's because we are the most disgusting people. We not only don't cough into our elbow or like into our shirt, you know. These are the people who make eye contact, step closer to you, and then cough loudly in your direction. This is the equivalent of the fucking character from the classic Australian comedy series in the mid-2000s who would run around breathing on people after they had road rage incidents. They'd like start shouting at each other, and he'd run over and breathe through the open window of their car and shout, "I give you SARS." You know, it's that level of fuckery. It's a bit. If you think about the way Roach Ravager works, it's like, oh, so guns, giant claws, ultralisks literally stampede on units and crush them with their giant maw, biting them into tiny pieces. Roaches, you're like projectile vomit. Abathur's like, just think about it, dude. It's disgusting and effective. And you're like, is it that effective? Like, he's like, no, make it acidic as well. It'll burn your armor and shit. And you're like, I guess that'll kind of work. He's like, also, transportation system. I went to New York, rode the subway, seems great. We're doing the same thing, but you have to climb in and out of a sphincter to do it. And you're like, oh, okay, Abathur. He's like, yeah. Well, you know, I originally actually did one where it was a sort of sterile biological tube, more of an, you know, it was like a real self-cleaning, almost an intestinal tract. But because we weren't putting food in it, it actually smelled really nice. He's like, I realized though, after riding the New York subway, it didn't feel right unless it had a certain sort of odor to it. So, you know, I decided you have to climb in and out of a sphincter. There's a bit of a certain smell when, you know, units pop out of a NYDUS. You guys know, everyone's been around someone, they've sat on them on a plane or on a train, public transport or something. There's always that person with like terrible BO who just stands next to you and you're just like, oh Jesus, has this person ever showered? That's the sort of smell. Like, imagine an army of highly motivated, drugged up, homeless dudes. That's essentially what comes out of a NYDUS worm. Doesn't matter what units it is, that's the smell that emerges. You know, 20 roaches pop out into your base, you smell it before you even hear the scream of the NYDUS worm popping its head out of the ground. It's a nasty thing. Now, nicely done by Mr. Quark. Comes in with the Banshees. They're actually dicking him right now, dude. Oh my god. Oh no. Slaughter of the roaches there. They all get absolutely destroyed. Oh man, and there's no escaping the Banshees, dude. Dude. This is trying to run away from a whole pack of Apaches, dude. You're like, yeah, if I sprint real fast, I think I can outrun those helicopters. They're just fucking spamming you with their Gatling guns, strafing down your column. Oh, like 7 Marines and a Liberator get home from that entire army. And Crazy Mechs and Mr. Core continue their absolutely dominant and abusive enforcement here of the social distancing policy. Remember, guys, they've actually been spreading their bases out all over the place. They are actually kind of breaking the rules a little bit here. They are currently building a holiday house next to their other expansion in the top left corner of the map. I don't know. I don't know if that's adequate distance between those bases, boys, but we'll see exactly how it goes. The Banshees have flown into the main. They actually took out the 2 turrets around the backside. They just fought them. It's that point we get to 6 or 7 Banshees. You just kill turrets and spores, get inside the bases. 6 kills, 10 kills, 5 kills, and 5 kills. Those Banshees have been on a bit of a tear. A few Widow Mines trying to still defend over here. Bunkers don't even really have any units in them right now. Starting to have my doubts about the efficacy of the 2-2-2 build order from the Terran player. The Zerg, on the other hand, of course, are always hitting peak strategy, where they have to build one tech structure and then spam units of one type. You know, that's just solid strategy, you know? Staying focused on one direction. And then, of course, spamming those NYDUS worms to get those units popping up all over the place. Banshee's just going to fly away. The other units can't really keep up at all. The Roach Hydra there, looking unstoppable at this point. I think Adrianx and Alaz have just had their economy too slaughtered. The Banshees, they've just absolutely destroyed them. You can see the economy down here. 18 workers for Adrianx, 20 for Alaz, up against 48 and 28. You've got these corner bases coming up. Yeah, you've got that gold base mining this whole time. This base doing well. There's just too much economy. Crazy Mex is like, oh, go away, dude. What are you doing, man? This is mine now. More social. They're both typing in allied. Oh, no. They're trying to get their shit talk on, and they did it in allied. This is, you guys who've seen me play team games back in the day, every time I go to say anything, I accidentally say it in allied chat. I say like the funniest line, and then I'm laughing about it, and I'm like talking to chat. I'm like, how funny was that? Hey guys. And then chat's always like, Pig, you said that to allied. And I'm like, and then I retype it because it's always funny when you retell a joke. And I go, it still counts. And people are like, yep. That's very funny. Very funny, Jared. It's hilarious. A real zinger there. It was very unexpected after you typed it 30 seconds before that and then had to type it again. I'm like, oh, man. All right. Time to win the game, I think. Ooh, the field of Widow Mines. Oh. I actually dragged one of those Widow Mines onto those two Marines, funnily enough. The Hydra's going to come forward here. They've got the move speed. They've got the muscular augments. And this muscular pack of Hydras run in. They needle the entire army. A few Widow Mines going to take out a couple of the Hydras. But drones, no match for mass Hydras. They managed to damage one Hydralisk, and that's about that. And looks like that'll be that. Yeah. I mean, these guys are going to take out one base, but they're going to lose everything behind this. The lair goes down. The other units are going to go down. Adrianx has given up. Alaz stays in the game to shout, Adrianx! Adrianx! A few times before hopefully not lifting buildings and waiting for the very end. Come now. Come on. Okay, there we go. GG, well played. Good bit of enforced social distancing there, I would say. If we look at the units lost, we can see the blue team did lose a fair amount more there. A lot of Roach Ravager, a couple of butts. But lots of Roach Hydra going down. Mostly only Banshees and a few Marines here. For Mystic Core. And yeah, a bunch of Roach Hydra. GG. Very well played, guys. Thank you very much, Mystic Core and Crazy Max. Special shout out to the smack talk that doesn't even offend the opponents. GG, well played. Maybe they're like, oh no, we didn't want to be mean. We did that on purpose. We purposefully just said it that way because we only wanted you and the audience to see Pig, but we didn't want our opponents to feel bad. Wow, aren't you a couple of pleasant, warm summer breezes here in the dark depths of the internet? Thank you very much for that game, guys. Don't forget to get your replays in for next week's ICYFAR. And of course, support the Patreon. Links down below in the description of the video. Please show us some love there if you can. And a big thank you, of course, to Maxan and Vivek up there. Of course, riding the D-Town Express. And of course, impregnating all of us with the passion on the Leviathan. We'll see you guys in the next ICYFAR. Goodbye and good night.